بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. I remind you to have a sincere intention in your heart, seeking reward from Allah Ta'ala by attending the lesson. Our lesson today is very important, so inshallah you will understand and pay close attention. We will be talking about the types of kufr. Now, in today's lesson, we are not talking about the categories, rather the types of kufr. The categories, inshallah, we will talk about in our next lesson, but today we will talk about the types and we will give examples of each, inshallah. Let us start by this verse from the Quran. It is in Surah Muhammad. Allah Ta'ala said, إن الذين كفروا وصدوا عن سبيل الله ثم ماتوا وهم كفار فلن يغفر الله لهم. What does this verse mean? It means that those who disbelieve and prevent others from embracing Islam, and then these people die as kafir, as disbelievers, as non-Muslims, they will not be forgiven by Allah. So we already know then that the kafir goes to hellfire, where the kafir resides in hellfire forever. So kufr then is what? Kufr, blasphemy, is the opposite of belief, just as darkness is the opposite of light. So kufr is the opposite of belief. And it is of three types. We will mention them and then we will talk about examples of each, inshallah. So the first type of kufr is what is referred to in Arabic as tashbih. That is likening God to the creation. This is kufr tashbih, likening God to his creation. The second type of kufr is contradicting, that is belying, takdhib. Okay? And the third type is denying, referred to as ta'til in Arabic. Now, what are examples of each of these types? Keep in mind, these are types of blasphemy, kufr, which is the opposite of belief. The first type we mentioned is tashbih, that is likening God to his creation, resembling God to any of his creation is disbelief. We know the rule. We know that Allah created the creation and he is not like his creation at all. This is what the sound intellect accepts. This is what the Quran teaches. This is, of course, what our beloved Prophet ﷺ taught the companions, and this is what the companions believed and taught their followers. So this is the belief of all Muslims. The belief of all Muslims is that Allah, the creator of all the creation, is not like his creation at all. So whatever then is an attribute, a characteristic of the creation, we do not attribute Allah with it. Examples of characteristics of the creation is having a shape, is having a size, is having a particular color, is having a form, having a body. All of these are attributes of the creation. So we do not attribute Allah with any of these. Allah is not a body. He does not have a shape. He does not have a color. He does not have a size. He does not have body parts. He is not like us at all. When we look at ourselves, we see that we have organs, we have body parts, we change, and all of these are created. Changing is a sign that something is created. It changes. So it is in need of the one who specifies it with that change. Allah is the one who specifies us with particular change. Okay, so some people are brown, some people are a darker shade of brown, some people are light in color, some people have straight hair, some people have wavy, some people have curly hair. This is how they are. Some might have a brown hair, and maybe they like to have black. So Allah Ta'ala, He specified His creation with these particular traits. Some of us are taller than others. Some of us have a different body format. This is all by the will of Allah. Allah Ta'ala specifies the creation with their attributes. So we change, but Allah does not change. God is not like His creation at all. Always, always keep that in mind. Always have that as your firm belief in your heart. Okay? And there is no disagreement in this among the scholars of Islam. All right? So we mentioned then the first type of kufr. We said that it is likening God to His creation. So we do not attribute Allah with any of the attributes of the creation. Because if a person does that, he would fall into this type of kufr, this type of disbelief, and he would no longer be a Muslim if he was a Muslim. Okay? So we gave some examples. Other examples of tashbih, likening God to His creation, is if somebody were to say that Allah is in the sky or sits. This is a type of disbelief, because by that, what did this person do? He resembled God to His creation. Because who sits? We know that who sits has a body. It means he or she is created, or this animal. Animals might sit. So whatever sits, it has an upper part and a lower part. It has a body. And bodies are what? Bodies are created. So if a person says about Allah that He sits, he resembled God to His creation. So he committed disbelief. Okay, he committed disbelief, which is that he resembled God to His creation. Likewise, we said among the characteristics of a creation is that they take up a space. They have a volume, they take up a space. And places are created. Whatever is in a place has a volume. And we said that volumes are created. Whatever is in a place is created. We are in a place. I am right now in a place. You are right now in a place. Okay? And the sky is a place. It is created. Paradise is a place. The sky is a place. Al-Arsh, we spoke about it in our previous lessons. The throne, it is a place. It is the ceiling of paradise. Earth is a place. So all places are created. Who created them? Allah. Whatever is in a place has a volume. So what is in a place is created. So you know then, Allah is not in a place. We say Allah exists without a place. Remember, just a while ago we said Allah does not change. What changes is created. You and I change. You, inshallah, will grow up to be strong men, inshallah. Inshallah, you will be pious. So you change. and I change. The creation, a created thing changes, but the creator does not change. Okay? So as Allah existed before creating all places, without place, after creating them, God does not change. He exists without a place. He does not need any place. Okay? So if a person says about Allah that he is in the sky, or that he is on the throne, or that he comes down from the sky, or is on earth, all of this is what it is: disbelief. Which type of disbelief? Tashbih, likening God to his creation. Clear? Now, inshallah, we will move on to the second type of kufr, the second type of disbelief, and we will give examples, inshallah. The second type, as we said, is belying, takdhib, contradicting. So it is belying, takdhib. It is contradicting the honorable Quran, or what was undoubtedly related from the Prophet ﷺ and known by every Muslim scholar. So if a person then, he learned that in Islam there is resurrection. Muslims believe that the people will then be resurrected from their graves. And yet he belied that. Yet he contradicted that, belied that. This would be disbelief. He would commit by that kufr, disbelief. Which type? The type that is takdhib, belying, contradicting, because by that he contradicted the religion. He contradicted what all Muslim scholars conveyed, okay? And he knew that, and he contradicted that. So also, if a person belied the day of judgment, if he said, no, there is no day of judgment, or he denied the obligation of a prayer, if he said, no, the prayer is not obligatory, or if he said that fasting Ramadan is not obligatory. So he knew that in Islam there are 5 obligatory prayers, yet he negated them. He knew that in Islam we have fasting Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, which will come soon, inshallah. Yet, despite that, he negated that. He belied that. He said, no, it is not obligatory to fast in Ramadan. So, upon the accountable person. So, by that, he would have committed disbelief because he belied what is undoubtedly confirmed in the religion of Islam. Okay, these were some examples of the second type of kufr. Now, inshallah, we will mention the third type of disbelief, and this is ta'til. This is ta'til, denying. Okay, that is negating, for example, or denying the existence of Allah. You know, there are those very silly people who do not believe in the existence of Allah. Subhanallah. This is very, very silly. For when we look at ourselves and we look around us and we see all these different things, we know for sure there is a creator for all of this. For sure there is a creator who created me and who specified me with these characteristics that I have. There is for sure a creator to this universe who created it and specified this creation with its characteristics. And this creator is Allah, who is not like his creation at all. So the Muslim believes firmly in the existence of Allah. But there are people who negate the existence of Allah. They do not believe in the existence of Allah. And this is, of course, disbelief, which is ta'til, negating or denying the existence of Allah. Okay. Also, if a person denied any of the 13 attributes of Allah, which we have mentioned many times in our previous lessons. Remember, we said that the accountable person should know these 13 attributes of Allah. So if a person denied any of these 13 attributes, he would commit disbelief. Disbelief of the type ta'til. Okay, and negating the existence of Allah is the gravest type of kufr. Okay, so we mentioned then three types of kufr. We mentioned three types of kufr, and we gave examples of each. And we said that kufr is disbelief, it is blasphemy, it is the opposite of belief. Now we will talk about the types of kafir. The types of kafir. There are two. There are two types of kafir. Remember, when I say kafir, it means not a Muslim. It means a disbeliever and not a Muslim. For the believer is the Muslim. When we say Muslim, it means a believer. When we say a believer, mu'min in Arabic, it means he is a Muslim. Okay, so for those of you who have heard the term mu'min in Arabic, when we say mu'min, it means he is a Muslim. If he is a Muslim, then he is a mu'min. Okay, believer is a Muslim. A kafir is a disbeliever. There are two types of kafir, disbelievers. One type is the original kafir, and the other type is the apostate, the murtad. And you have probably heard me in the lessons use the term murtad, apostate. We also spoke about apostasy, and inshallah in our next lesson we will talk about the categories of apostasy. So we said that now there are two types of kafir. We said the original kafir and the apostate, which is referred to as murtad in Arabic. Who is the original kafir? The original kafir is the one who was born to two kafir parents, and he reached pubescence on kufr belief. Okay, this is then the original kafir. He was born to two kafir parents and reached pubescence on kufr belief. This is the original kafir. As for the apostate, this is the person who was a Muslim. Okay? This is a person who was a Muslim, but then he committed one of the types of kufr, ridda. So he became a disbeliever, a non-Muslim. So if I tell you, for example, about a person that he is an apostate, you know, you understand from me that I'm saying he was a Muslim, but then he became a disbeliever. Whereas if I just tell you he's a Kafir, you know he's not a Muslim. Okay, you know that he is not a Muslim. But whether he was a Muslim or not, I'm not telling you here. I'm just said if I just say he is a Kafir, it means he is not a Muslim. But if I say he is an apostate, a murtad, it means he was a Muslim, but then he committed disbelief, he committed a type of kufr, ridda, and he became a non-believer, a kafir, a blasphemer. Subhanallah. So these are the two types of kafir. And of course, we already said that the person who is accountable and is not a Muslim, he should embrace the religion of Islam, for Islam is the only religion accepted by Allah. I want you to memorize this verse from the Quran. إن الدين عند الله الإسلام. Inshallah, I'll ask you to say it at the end of our class. إن الدين عند الله الإسلام. This verse means that the religion accepted by Allah is Islam. Okay, so this is here proof from the Quran that Islam is the religion that is accepted by Allah. And other than Islam, the beliefs that are other than Islam, they are not accepted by Allah. There are, of course, other verses in the Quran that also show that. But now I just mentioned this verse. Okay, so here this is proof from the Quran. So the any other belief other than Islam is not accepted by Allah. The only true religion is Islam. So the person who is accountable and is not Muslim, this person should immediately become a Muslim. And how does he or she become a Muslim? By saying the two testifications of faith, by saying the two Shahada. Okay, even if there is nobody hearing them, even if there are no other people, relatives, or friends next to them, they don't have to wait. No, they don't wait. They say it immediately. Okay, they say the two testifications of faith immediately, and of course, they believe in the meaning of the two testifications of faith in their heart. They believe in the meaning of the two testifications. So they do not have a belief that is opposite to Islam. So, as we mentioned today, they do not resemble God to any of His creation. They do not attribute to God a body. They do not attribute to God a shape. They do not attribute change to Allah. No, because that would be disbelief. That contradicts Islam. So they believe firmly in the meaning of the two Shahada, and they do not have a belief that contradicts the two testifications of faith. They would say the two Shahada right away without delay, because this is what saves them in the hereafter. Inshallah ta'ala. And in our next lesson, then we continue by talking about the categories of apostasy. And Allah Ta'ala knows best. Now, let me ask you a few questions about what we mentioned in our lesson today.